Good morning, Peppa. Morning, beautiful girl. Good morning, everyone. Peppa doesn't know it yet, but this is a pretty special day for her because today we are going to go on our first overnight trip in the bus. I haven't talked about it much on the channel yet, but Peppa's quite an anxious dog and she gets very nervous whenever the situation is different. So if we're in a different place or if the routine changes a little bit. So, you know, bus life is going to be a big deal for her and I'm not really sure yet how she's actually going to go. The other issue that we've had is that she actually gets car sick. And right from when I first adopted her, when she was about 9 months old, she gets sick pretty much every time I took her somewhere in the car. So it was a bit of an issue. We've been working really hard over the last 6 months getting her used to traveling in the bus. And we've only had one episode where she threw up in the bus, and that was when we were going to the vet. So I'm not sure how much of that was anxiety and how much of it was actual motion sickness. But we've been trying a few different things and we're going pretty well. So she's slowly getting used to traveling in the bus, but she's not actually yet been on a trip where we stayed somewhere else overnight. She's used to just being parked up in the driveway at my parents' property, where she's, you know, very familiar with the environment and everything that's going on. So this will be a big deal for her today. So what do you reckon, beautiful girl? Are you up to it? Let's find out. Alright guys, so this is it. We're heading off. Peppa's on her bed there, all hooked in. I've given her some rescue remedy, which is what we're trying at the moment. A lot of people have recommended that to me because it helps their dogs with the anxiety and the car sickness. So we've used it a couple of times and it seems to work okay. I'm not convinced it's helping a lot yet, but we'll find out today because this will be the furthest that Peppa's ever driven in the bus. So I think the longest drive we've done was a bit over half an hour, and today where I'm hoping to stay tonight is a free camp in a little town that's a bit over an hour's drive from here. So it's longer than what she's used to driving in the bus, but my plan is to break it up with a couple of stops along the way. So first off this morning we're just going to drive up to Fernvale, which is about 20 or so minutes from here, and we'll stop and let her have a little bit of a break. And we'll see how she's going. So, but yeah, we're on the road. This is Peppa's first away mission. We'll see how she goes. Well, so far so good guys. We made it to Fernvale. Peppa actually did really well, no spews, so we're winning so far. So we've just stopped in a nice little park here in Fernvale. It's right on the main street next to the Visitor Information Centre. So it's just a nice little spot to give Peppa a bit of a sniff and a chance to stretch her legs, go to the toilet. Just behind me here there's a trail, and that's actually part of the Brisbane Valley Rail Trail that runs all the way from Walkaracka in Ipswich up as far I think as Yarraman in the Brisbane Valley. And it's a great trail. Like you can walk your dog on leash for the entire length of it. You can ride bikes. I think you can even ride horses for part of it. So it's a really cool way to see the area. And I'm actually hoping to walk part of that trail in the next few days, depending on how Peppa goes. So we had a nice little break there. Pepper had a good look around and a good sniff, did a poo, lots of wheeze. So I think she had a nice little break. What do you reckon, Pepper Dog? Hey? She's going okay. So we're going to keep going now, and we're going to continue on to Esk, which is about half an hour's drive from here, I think. I've just given her another little dose of the rescue remedy too. I realised after I left that I forgot to spray her bed area with Adaptil. I've got some Adaptil spray that I usually put in her bed area here in the cab before we drive anywhere, and I forgot to do that today. So this is the first time she's actually driven in the bus without the Adaptil spray, and she's actually doing really well. I don't notice much difference, so I'm not sure how much it was helping, but anyway, so I forgot to do that today. Sorry baby, but I've given her an extra little dose of the rescue remedy, so yeah, hopefully she'll be all right. We'll see. Well guys, we made it to Esk. I'm so proud of Pepper. She's doing really well today. This is by far the furthest that she's ever driven. She's just doing really well. So I think that rescue remedy really does help, guys. Yeah, she does seem a lot more relaxed than she usually is in the bus, and especially like driving this far, she normally wouldn't be doing this well. You know, we've been driving for a bit over an hour now, really, I think in total, and she's just done amazingly. So I'm super happy. Gives me confidence that she can be a bus dog yet. So we're just going to stick around here in Esk for a little bit, check out the town, let her have a really good sniff and a relax. We'll probably stop and have some lunch here as well, and then we'll continue on to Goolwa. And see, this is another part of the Brisbane Valley Rail Trail in this park that we're in. That's the old Esk railway station. Guys, I am so proud of this little dog. She has been an absolute champion today. We've been traveling for quite a few hours today. We left home at about 10 o'clock, I think it was this morning. And I'm not sure what time it is now, but I think it's maybe 4. I don't know. But anyway, quite a few hours we've been traveling for. And she's handled it like a champion. No spews in the bus, yay. And she was a lot more relaxed than what she normally is. So I think the rescue remedy really does make a difference. So that's fantastic. We have gone quite a bit further than what I originally planned. I was going to stop into Goolawah tonight, but we've actually gone quite a bit further north, all the way up to Linville. The reason for that is I wasn't really keen on either of the free camps into Goolawah. The one in town was quite busy, and then the other one, there's another free camp into Goolawah that's just outside of town, but it's right on the highway, and it was actually a bit boggy there because we've had so much rain here lately. The ground is really wet, so I didn't really want to be that close to the highway, so I kept on driving. I was thinking about staying in Moore. There's a little free camp there as well, but again, it was right next to the highway and very boggy, and there just wasn't a lot of space. I don't know, it just didn't feel like a nice place to camp up for the night. So we kept going, and Pepper was a little champion. Like, I could tell she was starting to get tired of driving by the end of it, as was I. But she was so good. I kept taking her out. Like, we'd get to the next town and I'd stop and take her for a walk and a bit of a sniff around, so she was happy with that. But yeah, so we've ended up in Linville, which has a beautiful little free camp. Well, it's a donation camp, right kind of in the main street opposite the Linville Hotel. And it's a lovely spot. Again, it's very boggy. Like, there's actually quite a lot of space here. You could fit a lot of caravans and big rigs in here, except that the ground is very soft and very muddy. But even so, I managed to find a relatively flat spot that hopefully I won't get bogged in when I try to get out of here. And it's so peaceful. It's quite a way off the highway, so it's really quiet. There's lots of birds around. It has a really nice, lovely feel to it. So we're camping up here for tonight, and we may even stay here tomorrow. I'm not sure yet. Depends on how Missy goes tonight. But yeah, so this is where we've ended up. And as I said, I'm super proud of how she went today. She was so good. Very, very pleased. She's really tired now, though. You can see she's absolutely knackered. So we're just going to chill at our camp for the evening, and if she's up to it tomorrow, we might go for a walk. We're literally camped right on the Brisbane Valley rail trail here, so we can go for a walk, do a section of that tomorrow if she's up to it. Well guys, it's about 6 o'clock at night now, and we've come inside the bus because it's dark outside and the mozzies have clocked on, and it's actually starting to get a little bit chilly too. I've just made myself a pizza for dinner, so I'm going to enjoy that now. Pepper is absolutely worn out. Don't know if you can see her there. Can you see? There she is on her bed. She actually ate some dinner tonight, which was good. I was worried that she might have been a bit too anxious to eat dinner, but she scoffed it down. So I am super happy with how she went today. She is a lot more relaxed than I expected her to be. It'll be interesting to see how she goes tonight, sleeping in a totally new place. But I'm confident that she's going to be okay. So I'll catch up with you guys in the morning. Well, good morning everyone. It's about 6:30 here this morning in Linville, and we're just kind of getting ready to start our day. Well, I'm getting ready to start the day. Pepper's still in bed. You can see her there. She's all still snuggled up under her blanket. It's a little bit chilly here this morning, but not too bad. It's cozy in the bus. She did really well last night. She was a little bit unsettled at first when it was time to go to bed, didn't really want to hop up on her bed, wanted to come and get snuggles on my bed, so that was cool. She actually slept on my bed for quite a while last night, which is unusual for her. Normally she likes her own space at night. Well, hello. You getting up, Missy? Hey, good morning. But after a while, she took herself back onto her own bed, and I think she actually slept better than I did last night, so it's really good. So I'm just going to have some coffee, and then we'll get some breakfast, and we're going to do some walking today. We're going to walk part of the rail trail and have a walk up into the little town of Linville, check that out, see what's there. I don't know if there's much here. It's pretty small, but the pub across the road is dog friendly, so we might even check that out and get some food there later on. What do you reckon? Anyway, we'll catch you up in a little bit. So it's a beautiful day here in Linville, beautiful clear blue sky. There's no rain forecast today, which is a win. So we're just going to go on a walk up the Brisbane Valley rail trail. We're heading in the direction of Moore. Now the section of the rail trail that goes from Linville to Moore is apparently only about 7 kilometres. So we could potentially walk there and back with a rest stop in Moore, but I'm just not sure. Pepper's not used to walking quite that far. So we're just going to walk for an hour or so and see how far we get and see how we're feeling. We might continue on to Moore, or we might just, we might just turn around and go back to the campsite. But anyway, it's a beautiful day for a walk. Pepper will get to smell some interesting things, and hopefully we'll get to see some interesting scenery along the way. Let's go. Let's go. Walk time. So we've been walking for a bit over an hour, and I think we're quite a bit past halfway between Linville and Moore, and we've just stopped at the Linville Moore cemetery. There's a little shelter here. There's also a little toilet. So we've just stopped to have a bit of a break and a drink. And I think we're going to continue on all the way to Moore, because Pepper's doing really well. Like, she's still trotting out in front of me, doesn't show any signs of wanting to stop. And I'm thinking by the time we get to Moore, it will have been about a 2-hour walk. Means we've got to walk 2 hours back to get back to camp, but we'll stop in Moore for a bit and have some lunch and a really good rest there, and then hopefully she'll be fine to do the return walk. But so far it's been really nice. Like, it's a gravel track, it's mostly flat. We had a couple of steep like gullies that we had to go up and down, but that was it. Otherwise it's mostly a really easy walk, and it's a beautiful day. It's not too hot today, there's a bit of a breeze. I wouldn't want to do this walk in summer because a lot of the track is open. There's not it's not shaded all the way. So I think it would get quite hot in summer. But today, in like the start of winter here in Queensland, it is absolutely beautiful. So we're going to keep going. Well guys, we made it to Moore all the way. Yeah, I was hoping to have a nice lunch here, but there's actually hardly anything here. It looks like there used to be a few cafes, but 2 of them are closed and up for sale, which is a bit sad. There's only like basically one little shop that's open, and they sell coffee and like sandwiches and basic stuff. So I got myself a ham and cheese sandwich and a sausage roll, and that's my lunch. I bought some dog biscuits for Pepper so she can have a bit of a snack as well. And we're just sitting in the little park here in town, and we're going to have like a good rest here. I'm going to make sure Pepper has a good rest because it's about a 2-hour walk now back to Linville. So yeah, we want to have a good rest here, and then we'll hit the trail again. But she's done really well. I'm so impressed with how she's going. This is all new for her, so yeah, I'm very happy. Okay. Okay, good girl. Well, as you can see guys, we're back at camp in Linville, so we made it all the way there and back. That was the biggest walk Pepper has ever done, and the biggest walk I've done in a while, so but yeah, the return leg didn't take us as long as it did on the way in. I think because Pepper just wasn't stopping to sniff as much. I wasn't trying to film everything, so it was a lot quicker coming home. I was worried about how Pepper would go walking that far, but I think at the end of the day, I was the one that was starting to get stiff and sore and tired, and she was still trotting on ahead in front of me. So yeah, I'm super proud of what she's done today. So we are just going to chill now for the rest of the afternoon here at camp. I think Pepper's pretty glad to be back at the bus. She's already asleep on her bed. Well, good morning guys. It's day 3 of Pepper's first adventure on the road. We're still in Linville, and I think we've both pulled up pretty well after the big walk we had yesterday. We're going to take it a little bit easier today. We're actually going to leave Linville probably around lunchtime and head up to Benarkin. So this morning we're just been chilling around camp. At the moment we're just going for a little stroll up the Brisbane Valley rail trail from the campground, but in the opposite direction to the walk we did yesterday. So we're actually walking on the part of the rail trail that goes from Linville to Benarkin. I think it's about 17 or 18 k's if you walk this section of the track, and that's a bit far for us to go up and back in one day. But we're actually heading up to Benarkin, so we'll be able to meet up with the rail trail again at the other end there. So we're just having a bit of a stroll to give Pepper a chance to do a bit of a walk, and yeah, soon we'll be heading back to camp and packing up the bus and ready to hit the road again. So we're back in the main street of Linville here, guys, and I just thought I'd show you a bit more of a look around the campsite where we're staying. So this is the main street here. Directly opposite the Linville Hotel is where you'll find Railway Park. And this is where the Brisbane Valley Rail Trail passes through Linville. So just up towards the back of the park is where you'll find the campground area. So this entire grassed area here that you can see, there's a few vans and caravans and things scattered around. That entire area is open for camping. Unfortunately, the road that goes into that back section was quite boggy the day we arrived, so I didn't really want to take the bus up there, which is why we're parked down here at the front. But you can see there's heaps of room, so if the ground was dry and you didn't have to worry about getting bogged, there would be heaps of room for vehicles and big rigs and all sorts in here. It's a fantastic site. So they have toilets here, pretty standard toilet setup, and everything seemed pretty clean when I was here. Guys, they even have hot showers here if you need them. It's pretty unusual for a campground like this, but yeah, so awesome facilities. There's a little store in the main street that sells basic grocery items. It's also the post office, and it has some really delicious food on their menu. For my last lunch in Linville, I ordered the BLT with egg and avocado, and oh my god, look at this, guys. It was so delicious. Opposite the campsite, there's this cute little building which is the Linville Community Hall. Guys, this is where you make the donation for the camp if you're staying here. So it looks like you could actually pay by EFTPOS as well as cash, but we've just got cash today, so we're doing that. Thank you, Linville. So please, guys, if you're staying in the camp here at Linville, please make a donation, because it's so important that we have these places to stay at as we're traveling around, and we need to support the little communities that provide such amazing facilities for travelers like us. So thank you, Linville. We've really enjoyed our stay here. All right, guys, we're all packed up and we're ready to leave Linville. We're going to head up to Bunnarken, which is about half an hour's drive. Pepper's all ready to go. She's had a little bit more rescue remedy, so hopefully she'll be good today. It's not very far, but we are going up the range, so there'll be a section towards the end where it will get a little bit windy. We'll be going uphill, so the bus will be slow. So hopefully she'll be all right. We'll just take it steady and hopefully catch up with you in Bunnarken.